Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mastering the Shadows. I am your host, Mystic Lee. Today, we are going to be focusing on our root chakra, which is the lowest chakra in our system. It's a fantastic place to just start to go, just to start to clear energy out and to build a good and healthy foundation for you. For those of us who are looking at our little chakra dolls, that's going to be our root chakra, then our sacral, our solar plexus, our heart, our throat, our third eye, and our crown chakra. So today we're going to be focusing on our roots. So as we're focusing on our roots, we're going to first want to clear it out, right? Because we tend to pick up a lot of energy from all around us all the time. And it just kind of sits in our body, just like, when we eat a lot of food and it has to go through our system to be let go. Our butt is literally our physical part of our root chakra, which is why it's like down here at the very bottom. It's also, of course, when you sit down, what are you sitting on and balancing yourself on? It's your root. It's the lowest part of your body, and it is our lowest vibration. A lot of us, we don't necessarily have a great relationship with our lowest vibration. We're often kind of told a lot of negative things about our lower vibration. We need to get away from our lower vibrations. We need to vibrate up higher. And it is great to vibrate up higher, right? Because the higher our vibration hits, the more as a system we completely light up. But we want to make sure we're completely lit up, not just lit up and being top heavy, because then it's kind of like a tower where we can kind of just fall over, right? So we want to make sure we have a good and strong foundation so we can let things go and we can also build our self-truth. So one of the emotions that is most directly connected to the root chakra is that emotion of fear. Fear, right? A lot of times we're taught, fear is a lie. Fear will manipulate you. Fear is actually not a lie. Fear is just an emotion showing you that there's something's not going on right in your root chakra. Something's triggering it. And it's great that we're using this doll, right? Because this is our shadow doll as opposed to our light doll, right? Because we are both shadows and light all the time. That's just, we're always bringing in light and we're always filtering out our shadows. We are a balance of yin and yang, masculinity, femininity, light, darkness. So anger is, of course, a bit more of a, I guess, feminine trait. And it sits down at our lowest vibration, and it shows us that something's not, it's our feminine energy that when something's not going right with our foundation, it's going to get triggered, and we're going to feel that emotion as fear. So as fear is sitting here at the bottom of where we are, we can then ask that question when we're feeling fear. Do we need to stand and fight for whatever is imposing itself on our self-truth, or do we need to take a step back and just leave the situation altogether because that's what's best for our root, for our self-truth, and for our foundation? So as we're kind of working on that, right, it's hard to build our roots when we don't already have all that gunk cleared out of it, right? We want to clear out our gunk first before we build our self-truth on it. So that way we don't have like a tofu building or a Swiss cheese foundation, right? A foundation that has like that soft and spongy or has a lot of holes in it, so that, that way if you're building a self-truth on it and you go through and clear it, you want to make sure everything's cleared first. So then as you're building your foundation, it's a nice, even clear foundation. So what are some of the tools that we can use for this? That is where my handy dandy crystal bowl comes in. Where did oh, here we go. So I have these great tools to use for it so we can do our clearing, right? Because before we do any card readings, we want to make sure that our energy is cleared. So go ahead and take that big deep breath in and slowly release it out your mouth. Breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your mouth. In and out as you allow for those lower vibrations to vibrate and vibrate all the way through the root chakra. All right, so now as we're clear, right, we can allow for more of our light part, that masculine energy, that light energy to kind of rise up through our root chakras. And then that is what allows for our foundation, of course, both working together, right? So as soon as something is triggered within our fear, we can address it and look at it. And we can work hand in hand, right, to build a really good and strong foundation. All right. So what are some other tools that we can use to build our root foundation, right? We have the sound therapy, right? So I'm going to move this out of the way. And we also have, let me make sure, where am I here? Okay, crystals. All right. Let me see here. There we go. Okay, I hope this isn't going to echo. Okay, let's see. There we go. All right. So we also have here these crystals that we can also build a crystal grid, which can help to keep your root chakra just going and vibrating, right? So for those of you who are into sacred geometry, your cube is going to be your shape that is strongest for the root chakra, right? Because that's a good foundation right here. If you're also using a crystal grid and you want to shoot energy just up in general, a good shape in general to use is going to be a pyramid because it helps to project it around you and also up into the universe around you so you can create this beautiful dome. So right now I'm going to be creating this great dome just for the root chakra, and what it's going to do is it's just in regards to both yin and yang and just to kind of nurture that red energy. One thing that's so great about working with our auras is it's incredibly sensitive to colors and to color vibration as well as sound. So you can really simplify what tools to use once you start to kind of identify what emotions relate to each aura. So, all right, so here I also have, this is called a double terminated crystal here. And what it does is it shoots energy out on both ends and it helps us just to connect the grid a little bit further out. Let's see here. I'm trying to put this, where is it gonna? Here, okay. And you can use as many points as you want. You can either just go, you know, up and down, from north to south. I'm used to looking at maps, so I like to use, you know, north, east, south, and west, my 4 points, just to start off with. Let's see here. Okay. And then here, I'm just going to add some flowers at the end of it because having these different geometric shapes together in my mind helps to just kind of bring unity. And also at this point, since it's not a sharp edge pointing outward, it kind of helps to keep the energy moving out to the barrier. So it kind of helps to push it up like a dome. So, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to put those in the comments. I see I have a few viewers joining us today. If you could share this video out, that would be great. Right now, it seems I got kicked off Facebook. So that's a whole thing. So I know for those of you who are watching me now live, you're either coming from YouTube or straight from the Spirit Realm website, which is absolutely exciting. Talking about that, I know I see Jim just sent me a message. So he's probably asking what's going on with Facebook. So still working some of those kinks out. I know a lot of us are being hindered, so that's another great reason to start following me over on the Spirit Realm Network website every Wednesday, and also following me over on YouTube and subscribing to my channel, Mystic Path LLC. That way I can keep doing these videos and we can all, you know, we'll all still be here. I'll still be here. You'll have to find me somewhere, right? And again, thank you so much, Jim, over at the Spirit Realm Network for allowing me to have this voice on Wednesdays where I normally would not. So, yeah, and if at any point you guys want to start with readings, go ahead and put it in the comment if you would like a card. Root chakra, right? I'm trying to build my foundation, right? Letting go of all that energy that is not preventing that's preventing my self-truth, right? And taking action. So even though I've been blocked on Facebook, I'm still taking action, right? I'm still here. I'm still being me. And the more action you take towards being you, the more the universe is going to provide those physical opportunities for you to be you. And you know what? That's a huge part of what then shoots us up from our root chakras, not to get too far ahead, but from our roots up to our sacral, because our roots are our individuality, our self-truth. And as we push more for our self-truth, we will then push out of our roots and up into our sacral, which is where we become more than one. Our sacral is like it is our sexuality, but it's also our relationships. It is any type of connection that we have with others outside ourselves. And again, as we vibrate more in our self-truth, eventually the universe will create physical opportunities and connect us with other people who will honor and appreciate our self-truth. And that's, you know, and again, thank you so much, Jim, for allowing me to have this platform through the spiritrealm.net. If you'd like to go ahead and go over to that website and save it in your tabs, for allowing me to keep going with my self-truth and rising me up from just my root chakra, but into the sacral chakra as well. And, hold on. Put the dolls on top of the thing. And that's just such a great example of when we fight for our self-truth and we try and maybe use tools like this or sound therapy. Again, it can take some time to kind of figure out how to adjust our root chakras, and we keep living our self-truth and we keep putting that energy there in our foundation, it will push itself up. The more you put energy into your self-truth and into your foundation, it will push its way up to the next aura. It will allow for your light to come up, for your own rainbow to grow. All right. So more vibrations. All right. So I am going to pull some cards. Like I said, I'm seeing how a lot of my viewers are coming from Facebook, and that is absolutely great. But now I'm like, where are my comments? I'm used to like reading and interacting with, and yeah, it's been a minute since I felt a little more solo. So I'm going to go ahead and do a reading because I do see that there are a few of you quiet people here watching, and I'm so glad to have you here. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and pull some cards for y'all. I'm just going to pull some of these red cards out of the Secret Language of Color cards, which is the deck I'm going to use today. And let's see here. All right, so these are the red cards. We've got cherry, rose, ruby. Would you guys consider magenta to be, it's more like, I don't know, pink, but would you consider that to be red or not? I'll put it to the side so you guys kind of ask. Because our eyes also don't always see all shades of colors the same, right? Because as you switch from like red to orange, some of those colors can, I don't know, look a little more brown, and then is it brown or is it red? These cards, I think, keep it pretty more simple. But like, for example, Gatorade. I love the debate because some people think Gatorade is green and some people think Gatorade is yellow. It's a good example of how not all of our eyes see colors the same, and there are some that are kind of in between. And that's also a reflection of showing that our chakras, our auras, don't always reflect the same color the same either. And our auras are always changing. So, of course, how our auras are affecting our insides is going to affect the way we perceive and see the world around us, including how we perceive and see colors. Because the colors, we're very easily, we're very easily connected to colors and how they can make us feel. That's like when you go through into a red room, a lot of people say that it can trigger feeling of anger and anxiety and a lot of energy. And that's why not to paint like boys' rooms red or to paint a lot of your rooms red, because you'll have like this very strong red, passionate energy. That's why they say to paint like walls green or blue, because they're soothing, because you're starting to get into the heart chakra and up into the throat chakra where you're expressing yourself. So, all right. I'm going to pull this card, and as usual, I am going to use a piece of selenite. Here we go. So I'm going to use my selenite wand. All right. So let's just mix up the cards, and I'm going to go ahead and move this already so that way we have the space to work on our cards. Okay. Which card are we gonna pull today? Let's see here. What are our roots telling us? What color? What shade are our roots today? Okay, so here we have cherry. We have the root cherry. Live an extraordinary life. So I know that I can relate to this because I've been talking to some people this morning about some of my life experiences, and to them they seemed really outside the norm, right? Sometimes that can be sweet, or sometimes you don't want to swallow the pit of a cherry, right? I think that's it's great. So what we're also going to look at is, so what does the book say, right? For those of you who are just learning how to do oracle reading, a lot of these cards do come with books, so you can kind of get familiar, get used to it before you really kind of let yourself go and really be able to say, okay, cherries. So what cherries also represent, which is part of our roots, is also like, even though sexuality is part of our sacral chakra, a lot of times our sexuality can be part of our self-truth as well, right? And cherries, in a way, also have this whole sexual symbolism with being able to twist it in a knot with your tongue, and just with certain foods. There's a whole thing with cherries going on there. Other phrases, I don't know if they're appropriate to say, like pop my ooh, So there's a lot of that sexual energy that can come with cherries. And even though sexuality is a huge part of our sacral chakra, it is still part of our identity, especially today in today's world, right? Maybe back historically, sexuality was not necessarily part of our identity because everyone's sexuality was more or less the same or not part of who they were. In today's society, a lot of times our sexuality is a huge part of our self-truth and our identity, especially when we start talking about things like LGBTQ. That would be an example of a cherry part of our root chakras because it's dealing with our sexual identity, and how, I guess you could say, complicated or not complicated that can get. But, historically, that was not as necessarily part of the root chakra. It was more part of just the sacral chakra. And so because now people are seeing sexuality as just part of self as opposed to connect, like, I don't know. It's I guess we all know that that's a complicated topic, right? When we all just say LGBTQ, we all have different emotions just in saying that, right? And that, again, that's because all of our self-truths and identity are not, it's not the same. Some people might feel triggered talking about it because maybe for them, they just want to keep that whole sexual energy just in their sacral chakra. They don't want to bring it down to their roots. And again, that's why we're all different. Our auras shift and our auras really connect in different places, especially for different people. And so the cherry is really, was not expecting to get through that. But again, it's a huge part of our foundation and our society, especially now, is sexual identity. And sexuality is part of our foundation in life and all those other things. Sexuality doesn't make us want to fight or flight. So there is still that connection there. But normally what I would do is just put it in the tube. Personally, I prefer to keep that in my tube, which is, we have tubes. Where did I put my dolls? So we, in that space that's between our auras, we have tubes, right? So that would be like, for me personally, that type of energy I like to keep in my tube where, that orange and that red energy, it moves and it shifts around. It is kind of like top heavy for the root and kind of lower heavy for the sacral. But that's where I like to keep my, I guess, cherry energy. The stem stays in the tube, I guess, for me. Anyways, all right, so let's go on to the next card. And so what is the next card saying for you? You know what? I should probably put, what I'm going to do? I'm going to put these cards to the side. And then at the end, I'm going to mix them up again. And I'm going to put a stone. And so you're going to have to decide which stone is yours. And then I'll flip them over. So you'll know which reading is for you personally, if you're watching this after the fact. Okay. Next card. What is our roots wanting to tell us now? I'm sorry, I totally should not sing. I use a lot of my throat chakra for talking, and it's like, no, please don't sing. We don't need you being used even more. Okay, here we go. Rose. Interesting. So rose is also, we tend to see as like an intimate symbol, right? So this is funny because sexuality was what I was talking with these other people about. So it's interesting how these are the first cards coming up, right? But then that also shows that I'm personally kind of in a flow. And since I'm not pulling on anyone's energy out here specifically, again, if you'd like a reading, just put it in the comments. So since I'm not pulling anyone's energy specifically at the moment, I guess it's pulling on my energy, right? Oh, you guys, TMI. You guys are knowing too much information about me. Just kidding. Okay, attract a relationship. So this one's a little bit more direct, right? So while I was talking about roses earlier and kind of like the dirtier parts of sexuality being connected with it, I guess you could say the darker parts. Let me see. Is this one? Yeah. So, what's funny is cherry is darker than rose, right? So as we're looking at our dolls, we could say cherry is like the darker aspect of that romance world, while rose is a little bit lighter, right? So we're looking at that lighter aspect of romance, the, being charmed and wooed, and the man is always going to open that door for you and always going to pull out that seat for you. And, the lady's just going to make sure you have all the food you need. That kind of like love and romance, give or take showing of affection, right? It's a different, I guess, it's the same, but a different type of love and romance and affection. So the rose, right? The rose is quite a more classical symbol. My mind is already going off in history trying to think, like, we associate the rose with the Mother Mary. We associate the rose, like, if you are from Europe, maybe the War of the Roses, the white roses and the red roses. There are a lot of times in which the symbol of the rose has come out, in historical times, and there's a lot of love that's associated with it, relationships. So again, the rose is talking about attracting relationships, but it's not just romance relationships. It's relationships that carry deep love and deep respect. And this is also great to talk about it because Valentine's Day is going to be coming up in a few weeks, right? And what do we give for showing our love and affection, right? Roses. But we also give them more to the people who are more meaningful to us, right? The people who help kind of, I guess you could say, be part of our foundation. So again, we're going back to self here with the red roots, with ourselves, right? Because we don't just give roses out to anyone. You're going to be giving roses out to your lover, a rose out to a parent, a rose out to a sibling or a child or a really close friend. And when I say close friend, like BFF as opposed to an admirer, because sometimes roses can be mistaken, right? As and then that's when some people might want to venture out to other roses or to other flowers. So yes, roses attract relationships. So hey Cheryl, welcome. Thank you. I am well. I've missed a month because kids had to go to the doctor, and then, that booger floating around, got us. So thank you so much for asking. Okay, so Cheryl is saying no one can comment on Spirit Network. You're on demand, not live. Oh, okay. So I am still trying to figure all this out. So I am on demand rather than live for the Spirit Realm Network. So until I can figure out what's going on with Facebook, I am on YouTube Live. And then if you're watching afterwards, on Spirit Realm on demand. So thank you so much, Cheryl. That helps me know a lot of what's going on, because we all know I'm not necessarily the best tech savvy person. Cheryl, would you like a card? We're pulling our red root chakra cards. So if you'd like one, I would love to pull one for you. But yeah, so that was the cherry and the rose. Again, they're both kind of relationship connected, but this one, cherry, is, living that extraordinary life, where the other one is just about attracting relationships. Again, both things that we kind of opened up talking about with the root chakra is the more that we are in our self-truth, the more we're going to be able to expand our relationships to things that are going to support our self-truth and the type of life that, our self-truth and that we really want to live. So, all right, Cheryl, let me clear the card so I can pull one for you. All right, so what is your roots going to show us today? All right. So here we go. Auburn. So this is about grounding yourself. So as you can see, it's a little bit, so this is what I was talking about earlier in the video with some of these colors, like, is this red or is this brown, right? Is Auburn to you a red color or a brown color? And again, our auras can shift over time. So even the way we perceive the color of this card can shift as whether it's like red or brown. So, but this is about grounding yourself. And this card is being very, very specific about just getting out in the woods, getting out in the forest, walking around. Nature, you guys, is a great way for grounding. Taking off our shoes. I know it's cold outside, but taking off your shoes and just putting them on the ground, putting them on soil, right? That connection of our skin to ground contact actually creates our energy in our body to let energy go. This is not only like as an empath, but also we pick up energy from our electronic devices. So this actually allows for your body to let go of the energy that, like some of that radiation that your body might be holding on to, which can break down the cells in your body. Going outside and walking barefoot can help your body to dump that. Also, eating certain foods can help us to ground. But here I'm just seeing going out, walking in the woods, maybe being a tree hugger, right? These are all ideas that are so healthy for us, and they are so healthy for our root and our foundation. And we hear about grounding, but again, all this energy is about us connecting to our lower vibrations. So, get low, get low, get low, get low, and go outside and ground yourself. And just, allow yourself to get low. Let go of those energy, right? You're welcome, Cheryl. So I hope that really resonates. And again, I know it's cold outside for some places. I don't know if it's cold where you are, Cheryl, specifically, but sometimes just getting outside, even though it's cold, exposes you to the sunlight, which is fantastic vitamin D, which our body uses to, again, push out anything that's in there that's not for our highest good. So, and that's a great thing with vitamin D. It's a light energy, right? But as that light energy shines on us when you're outside grounding, walking around, it's light energy that pushes all this dark energy so it can go down through your body and out your booty, out your energy, out your feet, so that your body can then be cleansed, right? And then again, recycling and allowing for your own natural shadows and own natural light to then rise up as it goes through all of your auras. So Cheryl is saying, been waiting to get out to the woods recently. My daughter's been asking too. Always cold in the UK. Yeah. I hear it's also very rainy a lot in the UK. I personally, living here in Georgia, we get that nasty cold rain, and I don't like that. So I can only imagine from what I've heard, it can make it really hard to get outside and to get that grounding energy. But yeah, now is a great time to push yourself out of that comfort zone and into the cold and getting out there. So thank you so much, Cheryl, for allowing me to pull that card for you. It's a really good one. So, okay, before I move on to the next card, Cheryl, you have to let me know, does this look more brown or more red to you? Right? Okay. So on to the next. All right. So for the next card. All right. So we are going to shuffle these cards around. And then we are going to pull out the next one. All right. Hey, Bae. How are you doing? I miss you too. If you'd like a reading, just let me know. I was about to pull one, but this is perfect because you just came in at the right time. So Cheryl is saying that she does in fact see this as red as opposed to brown. All right, so I'm clearing my cards. All right, here we go. Here is your card for today. So again, I am pulling from your red roots, the lowest part of your chakras, because I know you just joined in with us. So again, those roots are our lowest part, our foundation. It allows us, if we feel feelings of like fear, we can face them. So that way we can see if it's teaching us to fight for our self-truth or walk away, so that our self-truth can be preserved and promoted elsewhere. And it allows for our foundation and our self-truth to grow up, allowing for our other vibrations to vibrate higher and creating the full rainbow between us and the divine. So have you sit there, little dude. We are now connecting to your root chakra. So what is your root chakra telling me or showing us? Or what message does it have to oh, look at that. You see that? Just flip over right there. All right, ruby. Ruby. Everybody loves rubies, right? Ooh, I'm getting goosebumps. Rejuvenate your body. So a lot of times I've been seeing on social media, a lot of people saying, you know, I'm not my body. My body is just a shell. I'm going to leave when I die. Our bodies are part of our physical vehicle while we're here, right? It's its own little universe, its own little galaxy that our consciousness is really in charge of, right? And what's great is through like exercise, changing our diets, seeing how our body feels different, looks different. These are all ways of connecting with our body, getting to know our body. And the ruby here is specifically talking about rejuvenation of the body. So, great ways to rejuvenate our body is hydration. Drinking a lot of water is a fantastic way to just rejuvenate the cells. Eating a lot of vegetables can be really good. However, here with our root chakra, we want to make sure that we're focused on those red foods. So things like red roots, like beets, are a fantastic food for you to help rejuvenate your body. And look up the benefits of beets, because there are quite a lot of fantastic benefits for beets. If you guys are, if you want a great protein, red beans are a fantastic way. Again, these are all things you can kind of play around with your body to help rejuvenate it. If you like to do exercises, just getting up and doing a few squats. Squats are actually, because you're kind of going up and down with your legs, when you go down, your body actually releases that energy. In some cultures, like they don't have like the squatty potty helps to kind of lift your legs up a little bit, kind of in that weird squat motion. Is again, as your body's actually physically going through those movements, your organs, your universe actually knows how to just let go of energy, let go of physical energy, like supernatural and spiritual energy, as you're actually going through those physical motions of the body. There's how else? There's other mantras that we can use. I am still. I am grounded. These are other ways to start rejuvenating the body, because as you say those things, those vibrations are coming out of the body as well as the body's feeling it, right? Because as we talk, even though our voice box is right here, you can still feel it vibrating like in the chest and through other parts of the body. So doing things such as oming, allowing for that vibration to really fill the body, right? You're filling the body with these vibrations. It's allowing for the cells to rejuvenate. So, and kind of like Cheryl's card, going out and grounding, right? It's another way of rejuvenating the body. So your card is really talking about rejuvenating the body. And it's interesting because I know for work, in a way, you kind of practice rejuvenation for other people's bodies, because you do work with people's nails. And, our nails are very powerful parts of our body. They're very powerful parts of our body. How we point, how we dictate that energy. People talk with their hands, pointing at things. Our hands are a huge part of our body and our aura and our vibration. And so you're already working with people with rejuvenating their body. You do that on a regular. But this card is also talking about you taking that time to rejuvenate yourself. So I hope that card makes sense for you. And I think it really does. It's like both light and dark right there. You give and you give, but this is also saying to take as well. So there's that balance there as well. And the roots are very strong with that balance, right? We want to be balanced in our roots so that as our aura grows, it grows strong in both, right? We don't want to be growing in one and then, oh, it falls over, right? If there's a storm, if something kind of, it can, they can lean on each other. So again, giving and taking is an example of light and dark, male and female, that duality that is part of our existence, right? So thank you again so much for allowing me to read that card for you. I hope that it resonates with you. All right, so I'm going to clear the deck. And if you have any questions, go ahead and put it in the comments. Oh, well, I didn't realize this wasn't plugged in. And it's running low on batteries. So is my phone. Tech difficulties. Welcome to my life. You guys, when people talk about Mercury retrograde messing with them, I've always been like, when Venus goes retrograde, oh my gosh, my whole life just goes to mad chaos. It's sometimes my emotions with it. So thank you. Yes. So you're saying yay or yes, wow. So yeah, I'm so glad that it resonates with you. And thank you guys so much for being here. I love doing readings. I love doing readings for y'all. Doing readings is a big part of my self-truth because we get to talk about the universe, but we're inviting spirit. I mean, spirit is like a huge part of our connection right now. And I just love any excuse to be able to connect with spirit and to connect with spirit with others. So thank you so much. That's, yeah. All right. So who else would like a card? So this is great. I see a lot of people getting on and off with life. And since I'm not on, this didn't go all the way through Facebook. I see you guys are on YouTube. So this is great. growing some excitement over here on YouTube. All right. I'm going to pull another card and then I'm probably going to wrap it up a little early, unfortunately. But it seems like there's so much crazy stuff going on, which is part of why I missed last week and the other week and the other week. But I'm here today, right? Our foundation of self-truth, right? Something knocked me off, but I'm back to my foundation of truth, which is, again, being here with you guys and connecting with spirit. All right, so let's see what root red color is going to come next. All right, so we have got red. Free yourself from pain. I like that. I am pained by the fact that I'm blocked on Facebook. I do start to feel some sort of pain when I don't connect with people through cards or through readings or that connection through spirit and talking about spirit in some type of a way, which is funny because I was thinking about that as I was shuffling the cards, right? I mean, I feel most like just uplifted and most, when I'm just talking about truths, right? Self-truth, I like to talk a lot. That's why I like to do these readings, is because we're growing, we're connecting, but we're talking about truths. And that's a huge part with shadow work, is talking truths, talking about those things that are hidden in the shadows that nobody else is willing to go in the darkness to shine light on, to bring up to the light because it's part of truth. For me, that is a huge part of freeing myself from pain. And I really do believe a lot of people that I connect with and vibrate with, we're all that way. We all feel a little bit of pain when we're not able to be in truth. Not only expressing ourselves, but just living day to day with certain expectations of how reality works. If it's not within truth, we feel pain, right? Sometimes we do feel pain if we are in a community where their self-truth is so unmatched from our self-truth. And a lot of times that can cause fear or anxiety, right? Because you're like, oh my gosh, who can I trust? This and that. That again is, it's a hindrance of your foundation. When you don't feel safe, it's your root chakra that's vibrating there. So freeing yourself from pain immediately allows for your root chakra to settle down. Pain in our body can be an indication that something's wrong, unless you like to bodybuild, in which pain makes you great and strong. So even though this is free myself from pain, this is like a light card. Free yourself from the pain, right? Because I just was talking about all that negative connotation, but at the same time, there is that positive side of pain. Like I said, with weightlifting, that pain you feel in your body, that pain you feel when you're working out, right? That's our physical body. We're getting back to those lower vibrations, those hard, denser parts of reality. That's actually a pain that is really healthy for you. And actually, as you work through that type of pain, because it's like pain you can control, it's pain endurance you're putting on your body. When you're hit with other things in life that are painful, it's easier to let it go because you're training your body through fitness to endure pain, to know pain is okay. And so as your body faces other types of pain, it's like, hey, this is not the same type of pain that we're used to feeling with working out. This pain doesn't match our self-truth. It makes it easier for the body to dump it. It also makes it easier for you to identify those situations that are going to be painful so that it's easier for you to avoid them. So there we've got a lot going on here with pain, and really just all that energy that really flows with pain, both yin and yang, and really working that shadow aspect for your best self. And let me tell you, I'm a sucker for some pain personally. I love it. Weightlifting, cardio, yoga. My neighbor is a huge inspiration to me because she works out on often 3 or 4 times a day, but she's also a pro fitness competitor. So again, it really helps you just to deal with pain and the emotions of pain in general a lot differently when you are able to do. And also, I think this is being able to control pain that comes in our body. I say working out's a healthy relationship with it. Other people, sometimes when they're dealing with pain, they feel the need to control that, right? Because the pain being inflicted on them, they feel like they don't have control over it. So that's why some people might turn to drug usage or cutting. Cutting is a huge example of people who hurt themselves to try and gain control over the pain. So again, if we are feeling these type of emotions, again, weightlifting, taking a run, doing some yoga, these are all wonderful ways of bringing pain in the body in a very shadow mastering aspect so that we can deal with other pain that comes with us in life. So, all right. Thank you so much, you guys, for allowing me to read this card. I have no idea how low this battery is. So I'm going to just pull another one. Let's see how far it'll let me go. All right. So one more. I'm going to pull one more and then I'll do the 3 cards for you guys to pull one. All right, so here is the next card, Burgundy. So this is another one that's kind of got that weird, is it red or is it brown? Awaken your passion. So this is a little bit like the cherry, right? Got some wine on here with some Burgundy. Awaken your passion. So, awaken that energy in you, that excitement, that drive. Having that drive and that passion is part of your foundation. Building everything else on top of that means you've got a drive going through your energy flow, a drive that's going to hit each one of your other auras going up. And then, obstacles don't do well with passion. Passion and an obstacle, a passion hits that obstacle and it's like, bam, out of the way, psh, psh, passion, I'm going fast. I'm going strong. You know, when we think passion, we think a lot of energy. You know, we think, wow, so much energy, nothing can stop it. It's unstoppable, right? And so again, that's part of our roots. It really helps to, you know, really push that self-truth going. All right. So to avoid the computer dying before we're done, let's go ahead. All right, let me take out some of these cards, right? We're going to take out Ruby and we're going to take out Auburn because we know that those cards already belong to Cheryl and to Faye. So, to Miss Betty. All right, so here we are shuffling the cards. Which card is yours, guys? All right, we've got this card here, this card here, this card here, and this card here. That's a little messy looking. All right. Which card is yours? I'm going to give you a minute to focus. Do. Oh, wait, I need to hit my gong. My gong. Here we go. My crystal bowl. Which card belongs to you? All right, I'm going to flip them over now. If you pick this card right here, your card is the cherry. You are meant to live an extraordinary life, which means not very many people are going to understand you, and you're going to have to learn to be okay with that. The cherry. All right, if you pick this card right here, the rose, attract a relationship. Put yourself out there. Just meet people. Don't have expectations. Expectations are not great until you've already secured the relationship. But just put yourself out there, you know, give someone a flower, be loving, be nice, you know, just be that person. Like I said, Valentine's Day's coming up, you know, people you're not sure if you're even friends with or not, just give everybody some Valentine's cards, you know, attract relationships, have people feel a little, you know, do something so those people around you feel a little special and see what comes back. Next card, if you pick this card, your reading is red. Free yourself from pain. And then in my head, I hear no pain, no gain. So you've got to be okay with going through certain types of pain. I'm sorry, this is just how this card is talking to me. You have to be okay with going through certain types of pain in order to free yourself from pain. So go out there, find something that is painful for you. Maybe you hate reading. Maybe you hate learning a new language. Maybe these are all things you hate and it just makes your head hurt. That's pain. Find some type of pain that's out there that's good for you, that's constructive, and make yourself pain yourself for like at least, you know, 30 minutes a week, if not 30 minutes a day. No pain, no gain. But if you learn how to harness pain for gain, then it's easier to free yourself from pain on the daily basis. All right. Thank you. Next card, you guys, last one. Let's see what this card is saying. Burgundy, awaken your passion. All right, wake up. Stop smoking your bong. Put it down. I'm sorry, that's probably not appropriate. Stop being a couch potato. Put that remote control down. And let's get active. And let's show some passion towards some things you believe in, right? Just get passionate about something. Get angry. Allow yourself to get angry about something. I mean, if you go all throughout life without being angry, you don't have passion, you know? Allow yourself to get emotional and upset that something's not okay. Allow for that passion to come through. Don't hide it. Don't subdue it. It's only going to hurt your cells and it's going to cause them to break down. Cry it out. Run it out. Let the passion, scream it out. You know, take action. Maybe go dance it out. You know, allow for passion to take over and allow for you to express that part of yourself. So, all right. Thank you again so much, everyone, for supporting me. It's absolutely amazing. I feel really special. I do. I really do. It really means a lot that you guys show up here for live videos and allow for me to channel this energy through you. And again, if you like this video, please, if you're on YouTube, just, subscribe to it, share it out. And, catch me over on spiritrealm.net. I'm going to be working a lot more over there. Jim is absolutely fantastic. He's a great supporter of mine, and so I'd love for you guys to support him over there. And Spirit Realm has a lot of fantastic t-shirts, mugs, all these other things, and great shows. For those of you who've been following me, I'm like good friends with Jennifer, Mercury Girl Jennifer. I mean, I've worked with her for years. She's been with me since the beginning of my journey with doing this on a professional level. She's also on Spirit Realm. And also Rachel is on Spirit Realm, and Tori, and all these other amazing people. So you can get so much interaction with spirit over through spiritrealm.net. And also, I'm going to be doing some more paranormal stuff, hopefully with Rachel, and we've done some in the past. So again, guys, thank you so much. And Cheryl's like, thank you. I lost the comments section. Yeah. I'm so glad that you guys are here. So thank you again. And you guys take care. And I will see you next week at the same time, 5 p.m. USA Eastern Time, on YouTube, on spiritrealm.net, and hopefully back on YouTube. So take care.